Real issues there, and the cost of fuel was a prominent campaign issue ahead of last year's general election, with the presidential candidate and Deputy President William Ruto building a substantial case against his predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta. On the campaign trail, Ruto and his allies rallied against fuel price hikes and pledged to reduce the prices if elected. But as Chemutai Goin reports, the fuel prices promise appears to fall victim to the political equivalent of optical illusion as Kenya Kwanza marks the first year in office.
On the campaign trail, then presidential candidate William Ruto and his Kenya Kwanza alliance ruthlessly exploited public resentments over the spiraling cost of living, from food to fuel prices. The then deputy president demolished the record of President Uhuru Kenyatta's government and deftly associated the poor run to his main presidential election opponent Raila Odinga.
Wacheni kiburi, wacheni madharau, wacheni matusi, endeni mupange mambo ya serikali. Bei ya mafuta imepanda, wananchi wanataka iteremuke.
Hii bei ya mafuta wameongeza mpaka mafuta taa. Walete bill next week waangushe bei ya mafuta. Hiyo sisi wabunge 150 wenye tuko mlengo wa naibu wa rais tutaunga mkono kuhakikisha bei ya mafuta taa ya petroli imeshuka, mwananchi wa kawaida asiumie. Au sio?
We can no longer accept and we can no longer entertain the thought of increasing the prices of fuel products in the country of Kenya. We are giving them an ultimatum. Within one day, leo hii ikiisha, lazima waite mkutano wa dharura na waondoe hiyo maneno ya kuongeza kodi katika mafuta. Watu wetu ya bodaboda wanaumia, watu wetu wa matatu wanaumia, wameumizwa na corona, wako na loans kwa bank, and it is very, very uncouth for the government to purport to increase the prices of fuel products.
The attacks on the administration resonated with candidate Ruto's political base, particularly in Kenyatta's Mount Kenya backyard, where discontent rapidly graduated to a near-open rebellion over commodity prices and Kenyatta's economic policies, both real and perceived. As the country grappled with the shortage of fuel, then Deputy President Ruto went bare knuckles with the Kenyatta administration.
From their own statement, they are not sure of what to say. Is it because of the war in Ukraine, or is it because of the crisis with our oil marketers? Which is which? And that goes to tell you that this crisis is orchestrated, and it is as a result of the cartels and barons who have taken over, using conflict of interest and state capture in our economy. I mean, a straight answer would be, how come that fuel in Uganda is cheaper than fuel in Kenya?
Soon after taking his oath of office, the president made good his pledge to scrap the fuel subsidy program, resulting in the rise in pump prices. In his defense, the president said the subsidies were not sustainable. The subsidy program had been used by previous administrations to control the prices of the dollar, where marketers were compensated so that they don't pass the cost to the consumer. The Finance Act 2023 also increased VAT imposed on petroleum products from 8% to 16% as the government sought to raise revenue to sort its funds. The government-to-government deal, where oil marketers were given a 6-month grace period to import petroleum products and pay in Kenya shillings, also seemed to have failed to serve the intended purpose. The government has, however, instituted a stabilization fund to aid in managing the fuel prices. It is, however, limited since the kitty was exhausted in last month's fuel review. And it appears Kenyans must brace themselves for tougher times if this quote by Trade and Industry Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria is anything to go by, where he warns that fuel prices will rise by 10 shillings every month until February next year. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV.